Hey everyone, Brian from 3 Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey guys, why was Dr. Jekyll banned from South Africa?
I don't know.
Why?
Because he was apartheid.
Oh.
That's so good.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas as in Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log.
It's Mother's Day.
All that I have, all that I've done, everything I feel, all this and more, I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am the father.
It's one of our most elevated jokes, as
That's
you
right.
pointed
That's
out,
right.
Derek.
Elevated humor.
Very nice. More of an elevated joke than a dad joke.
Oh, sorry.
We're
Sometimes,
we're getting smarter.
Are we?
we're
No.
evolving.
Work smarter, not harder.
Does anybody even remember what apartheid is anymore? I mean, that was...
Yeah, just watched Lethal Weapon 2.
You watched what?
Lethal Weapon 2 will tell you
Oh,
all you
yeah.
need to know.
There we
about
go.
apartheid.
That's what I mean. Outside of like the late 80s, early 90s, Nelson Mandela, he's
Kids
no
today,
longer
they-
with us.
Yeah.
Apartheid
Morgan
is
Freeman.
no longer a thing.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
We played him in a
He
movie.
played Mandela.
Tinder for schmucks.
Well, he played
oh
Kennedy
my God,
once.
he knows.
Martin Sheen.
It's President Kennedy, you
He
idiot.
played Kennedy once.
This was my dream, my wish. It didn't come true. Sounds that movie better than Monster Squad, right? Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of 3 Geeky Dads, the show where 1 out of 4 of the dads is too stupid to activate a Comic-Con badge. I'm amazed I'm alive. I am that guy, Scrapey Mark, Scrapey Mac, whatever the fuck my name is now. I am Mark, and with me as always are the John and C to my Riley.
Derek.
Brian.
And completing the show by saying F you to math and the accuracy of our show title, the Fruit Brute, to the rest of our monster cereals, Tito. I
That's
was
the
going to
one
call
that
you
nobody
Yummy
likes,
Mummy.
Yummy
right?
Mummy.
No, Yummy Mummy. Well, yeah, so Fruit Brute became Yummy Mummy.
Yeah, Fruit
right.
Brute
But
was first.
I didn't think you'd want to be called Yummy Mummy.
Hey, you guys see
Why?
the
That's
new
what all
one?
the ladies call him.
Yeah,
It's a caramel apple.
Carmella.
Yeah, have you tried it yet?
No.
Have you found it?
I have it.
You have it.
I haven't tasted it yet.
Oh, you should have brought it over.
Oh,
We
next time.
all could have had some
taste it?
monster
We'll
cereal
we'll
for
taste some
for supper
Carmella
tonight.
together. Next week. Next week.
What?
I don't know. Brian said something.
I'm busy that day.
No, sir, you are not.
Or is it 1 bowl, 4 spoons kind of situation? Or?
Everybody sup in the communal bowl.
I'll have what he's having.
Oh, it's going to be that kind of night. Hey, speaking of monsters, which we are gearing up to that time of year when before long we'll be carving jack-o'-lanterns, putting on costumes, and allowing dentists all over the world to put a down payment on their third summer home. I am, of course, talking about Halloween, or Halloween, as Joe Bob says. Halloween. But, Mark, I hear all of you asking, it's only September.
Mark, you
What's
stupid
the
slut.
rush? Mark, you ignorant slut.
That's what it is, Mark. You ignorant slut.
Stop making that stool squeak, you bastard. But I do. I hear
Eat
you
less
all.
grease.
I hear you all asking, it's only September. What's the rush? Well, you arrogant bastards, there is no rush. But there's nothing wrong with celebrating a little early. I mean, at least we don't have the Christmas stuff up yet. By gearing up for the season of the witch with our always popular Heading Toward Halloween Hammer series. Ooh. Yes, sir. That's right. It's time again to step into that always spectacular world of babes, boobs, and blood as we bring you 3.
So by our math, there's going to be 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 3 Hammer movies over 4 weeks.
Not once,
6.
not twice, but thrice.
It's whatever we feel like, damn it.
1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Whatever we feel like.
2 plus 2 plus 1.
Starting tonight with the 1971 spin on the old Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde tale with Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. The story of a doctor in search for everlasting life and ends up with the ultimate example of inner male versus female gone amok. Amok. I was waiting.
I really thought Derek was going to run with that too.
I wrote that just for you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Amok.
Thank you.
Okay,
But before
my lucky rat tail.
But before we grab a few knives, kill a few prostitutes, and take a stroll through the streets of London, not really in that order, our own doctor of delicious delicacies, Brian, has a yummy appetizer to start us off.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
That's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Brian.
Yes, Mark.
Go.
Yes, it's Hammer time, that most wonderful time of year when we first started our podcast. Yes, Mark, when we first started our podcast.
Has it been that long?
I haven't even said how many years it's been.
Oh, sorry.
5 years ago.
Has it been that long?
It has. It really has. Feels like 10. We started covering Hammer horror films as a halfway to Halloween summer series. But being the terrible as math dads that we are, halfway to Halloween seemed to creep closer and closer to October. So here we are. It's mid-September. And, well, I think we're just going to start calling it Hammer Halloween from now on.
Well, that's a better. I like that.
Tonight, as Mark just mentioned, we will be looking at the controversial Hammer film, Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, a film that sees the good doctor transform not into a hideous murderous beast, but into a beautiful, buxom murderess.
That's very Jeff Goldblum right there.
Yeah,
but.
Hello? Hello? Yes?
I really hate that man.
But in honor of that fact, we're going to talk about some of our favorite split personality movies.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Are you ready?
I think Derek is up
Derek,
first.
Oh,
this
I'm
week.
first?
Yeah.
All right, we're only doing one, right?
One
Yeah,
each.
and if
All right.
we have runners up, if anybody picked our pick, we can go for...
Okay. I'm going with Identity. I've talked about this movie before in the past. I constantly recommend this movie to
Is that
everyone.
the one on the motel?
The motel.
With John Cusack?
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Love it.
So if you haven't seen it, skip ahead.
Haven't seen it in a
Because
while.
I'm going to spoil the fuck out of this movie. So.
Okay, stop.
Stop.
Collaborate and listen.
Stop. Too legit. Go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, I love this movie. Inspired by Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, which I'm a huge fan of and I've talked about recently. We find 10 characters from various walks of life stranded in the middle of a storm at a Nevada motel. As one by one characters begin to be picked off and ultimately vanishing, leaving only their numbered room key behind, we cut back and forth to a side story of a convict, Malcolm Rivers, who awaits execution while his doctor, played by Alfred Molina, who's awesome in this, is trying to appeal the death sentence. In the end, it's revealed that Malcolm Rivers suffers from dissociative identity disorder, and the events of the motel are actually happening inside his head, in his mind, as the murderous personality inside him tries to take out the competition. great little stringer. It's awesome. Great cast: Rebecca De Mornay, Ray Liotta, John Cusack,
Amanda Pete's in
Amanda
that,
Pete's
right?
in it. Yep. Yeah, and
Remember when she was a thing?
Yeah. For sure.
yeah, oh yeah, whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and the whole 10 yards,
right.
and there was a couple other films that they tried to make
She
her.
had a TV show too for a little while.
She was. Yeah, she started on TV, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, just awesome movie. So if you haven't seen it, you got to check it out because it's the shit.
Yeah,
It's the shit.
All right,
it's a fun
it's the
movie.
shit.
I saw it in the theaters with Mary, and it was.
I've seen that
I
one.
love John Cusack too. So
Yeah, same.
I do too.
Yep,
And it's fun to watch,
he's an
even
underrated
knowing
actor.
the ending, like and
it's still
who
fun to
which
watch,
personality is the killer. It's wicked cool to
go back and rewatch. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to revisit. Do you own it?
I do.
All right, I'm definitely going to rewatch it then. So mine is Split. M. Night Shyamalan's Split. Yes. James McAvoy, he's just amazing in this movie. I don't know how many different personalities he goes through, but it's just crazy. He goes from like the little kid to the matron personality that's kind of overseeing everybody to the murderous personality, and he does it at the drop of a hat. And you can almost see that it's not quite James McAvoy. It's almost like a totally different person.
The physical
that's there.
change that he manages.
Just the body language alone and the way he changes his voice. And, it's just amazing to watch.
Yep.
Amazing to watch. Even I read a thing about... Samuel Jackson when they did Glass, which was the follow-up to it, which I also have down because you can't really have one without the other. But Split was the one that introduced this character.
Yeah.
When Sam Jackson was working with him on the sequel, Glass, he said it was just amazing to be like with him and acting with James McAvoy, but like talking to four totally different people.
Yeah,
it was just he was just blown away with how he pulled it off, and I agree. It was just fantastic to watch. I'm, again, not a fan of M. Night Shyamalan, but I always liked Unbreakable, and then when he did the follow-up, I was like, all right. At the end of Split, when he brings Bruce Willis's character back in at the very end, and I'm like, he's tying it all in.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps in that diner scene.
That was well hid too. I remember somebody telling me, see it. It's got, the end is cool. And then I saw the movie. I was like, this is actually a pretty entertaining movie. And then I saw the end, and I was like, nice. It's all in that world.
Yep.
Glass kind of bummed me out, but
a little bit. Yeah. I
was hoping for something else, maybe.
I think you're right.
But also the way that movie left off made it seem like they could expand on the world, and I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Will.
With the what's her name character.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also who's that? The other actress is in it. Who's in all the?
Sarah Polley.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah, she's in the American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Right.
Her character is like part of some larger whatever.
Yeah, because she was the psychologist that was analyzing them all and trying to convince them that there are no superheroes. And,
but she knew the truth the whole time.
Exactly. So she's a super villain.
It was Earth all along. I haven't seen Glass.
So that's mine.
Or Split. I saw Unbreakable and I really liked it.
Yeah, well, you should check it out because they're definitely worth a watch just for James McAvoy's performance alone.
Sounds good.
It's amazing.
Cool.
My pick is a little doozy by the name of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Good one,
where
Tito.
Freddy is trying to break into the human world, and he needs to possess a young boy by the name of Jesse to do so. And they kind of struggle with his identity throughout the film. It's one I remember seeing really, really young and not really seeing it again until I was much older. And I freaking love this movie. Not to jump ahead, but the Dr. Jekyll, Sister Hyde reminded me a bit of it, and just how kind of edgy, like the subject matter is.
Right.
So that kind of popped into my head immediately. But this movie has become one of my favorite, besides Dream Warriors, one of my favorite Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Did you see Scream Queen? The documentary about him?
No, I still haven't.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's awesome.
Yeah, I still haven't. But the story that goes along with the film is all really interesting. Everything, the lore, it's all cool. Like the movie itself is kind of dumb, but there's so many like interesting things mixed into it, and I just like the balance between him and Freddy throughout the film.
Yeah,
I got to say, when I first saw that movie, the girl, the redhead in that movie, the one that looks like a young Meryl Streep.
Oh yeah, Pam from Seinfeld.
Right. Okay.
Kim Myers.
Yeah.
Yes, I really thought that she was going to be bigger than she turned out to be, because I remember seeing this movie. I'm like, she's great.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. And I just loved her for some reason.
Is she
I
the crazy
really thought
sister
that-
on Wings?
Maybe.
Sarah
never really
Bernard's
watched-
I don't know.
sister that dated. She was like obsessed with Matthew. What's his name?
The only other thing
One
I've
of the
ever
brothers.
seen her in is
That's not Amy Yazbek, is it?
Seinfeld.
No,
Oh,
Amy
Yazbek is
Amy
on
Yazbek
Wings.
was on there too.
She
Yeah.
is on that show, though.
But this one was, yeah, she has like
yeah.
kind of a pinched face, and I think she does look like.
It could be.
Could have been.
I can't picture.
Pinched face. That's a great
yeah,
description.
like
When you, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
A lot of pinched face
Yeah.
actresses
Lot
out
of-
there.
I
could
don't
Google
see
it.
her
Get a whole
as
list.
being in.
I just know her in that Seinfeld episode.
She's in
And Hellraiser
Seinfeld,
4.
The Pretender.
She's the wife in that.
She was in 6 Feet
Who is
Under.
Kim Myers.
Kim Myers.
Kim Myers is in
Oh, no,
Hellraiser
okay,
4?
it's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember?
She
yeah,
was.
the
That's
wife.
right, because
Yeah,
you
right.
pointed that out.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's not
yes.
the one I was thinking of.
No.
What about you, Killer?
Killer.
Killer.
Mine is Suicide from Ski Patrol. The ultimate in comedic multiple personality. It doesn't get any funnier than Suicide, the thrill-seeking kamikaze snowboarder with three different personalities that he has masks on each side of the face, and
He's got hand puppets
he's
also
got
for
hand
them when he needs them.
and one of them talks like this, the other one talks like this, and he has full conversations. He has a lot of scenes with Leslie Jordan, which are a riot, and there are better movies out there, I'm sure. But
Ski
this is
Patrol?
Ski Patrol.
Wow.
Suicide from Ski Patrol. It is my favorite multiple personality.
Deep cut.
It is deep.
It's a very
but
deep
it's
cut.
my favorite.
Oh, it's bleeding.
There's some Jim Carrey fans out there that are shaking their fist at you right
Oh,
now.
fuck Jim Carrey. No, Suicide, much better. Much better. Yeah, I said it. I said
That's good
no,
too,
say
because
it again.
none of us we didn't double up.
Yeah,
Not yet,
I thought
no.
somebody was going to have like a Nutty Professor
Yeah.
or interesting.
All right, do we wanna go-
Runners up.
My
Yeah.
backups were Psycho, Fight Club, and Me, Myself, and Irene.
Psycho.
Fight Club.
Yeah, I had Fight
Yeah.
Club and Psycho as well.
Good
Yeah.
pick.
Yep.
I
Those
didn't
were my
have-
runners
I
up.
didn't have any other ones.
I had
This one-
Crazy Jane from Doom Patrol, Herman from Herman's Head,
Oh.
and The Exorcist. I mean, that's the ultimate right there. Two personalities. And your mother's in here with us too, Kara. So maybe that's three.
The Dyslexicist. Your mother cooks socks in hell.
Dude, I gotta say, I know we're not all big James Woods fans here, but the opening to Scary Movie 2 with the fucking
with Leslie
Exorcist,
Nielsen and
throwing up
with
on each
James
other?
Woods and Andy Richter.
Andy Richter.
As the you're thinking of Repossessed. Scary Movie 2
No.
opens up with an Exorcist parody. It's James Woods, Andy Richter, and the fucking that whole thing is
They start
hilarious.
puking on each other.
Yeah.
I watched that recently. I was in the mood for both those movies.
Yeah.
Me too. I watched the
watched
first
one
one
and
last night. I'm like, oh, it's the horror movies are coming. I'm going to start with some comedy. Yeah, and those are great movies. All right, cool.
Nice.
We're going to watch that opening after
Okay.
because it's so good. She
Nice,
won't
nice
even come
picks,
near
guys.
me anymore. It helps if you give him candy. All right. Shall we go to the main course? Brian's leaving. Have I offended you?
No, I'm just going to shut the ice machine off. Yes.
All right.
Yes,
okay.
the main course.
The main course.
Hey, these buns look good.
Oh, yeah. And they're so soft and warm. Ray! Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
They're delicious.
Thank you, my child. I made them by hand. Okay, here we go. I think the taters are just about done. I'm just gonna give them one quick whisk here. You know, a lot of people are kind of intimidated about making a turkey, but really it's very simple. You just have to know the anatomy of a turkey, and it's got over here just the tiniest little stink hole, but it's big enough to get your hand right up inside it. Stuff the shit out of it. I cook it with all the giblets, the penises and the ginies. Okay, now, dig in.
They say the female of the species is more deadly than the male. They also say girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider, while boys go to Mars to get more candy bars. While others proclaim girls are made of sugar and spice and everything nice, whilst little boys are made of snips and snails and puppy dogs' tails. I don't know what the hell is a snip anyway. Anybody know?
Master?
I don't know.
What is a snip?
Probably
Like
something to do with
that like
circumcisions.
hanging.
It sounds like a derogatory.
They're made of circumcision.
Sounds like a racial slur.
What you call me? That's our word. Snips is our word.
Snips. We're taking it back.
Yeah, we're taking it.
Never buy chewing gum from a Moyle. It's so chewy.
Oh, Jesus. Whew. Oh, boy. Okay, from kindergarten to corporate, the battle of the sexes has always been an age-old feud between the two, and in movies, such is also the case. But for actors Ralph Bates and Martine Beswick, who portray both the renowned scientist Dr. Jekyll and the crafty and dangerous sister, or Miss Hyde, this time the battle between male and female exists within oneself. Hammer's spin on the classic tale seems like a silly romantic comedy dreamed up in the 80s, but in fact, this movie takes a rather serious and sardonic approach. The movie is ripe with all the classic elements of Hammer: a haunting film score, foggy London streets, elegant characters cloaked in their finest dress, and of course, bright red blood and gruesome murder. With all the ingredients of a classic Hammer atmosphere, what better way to launch our Head into Halloween Hammer series than classic monster formulas mixed in and also with the right amount of creature feature equality? I ask you. I don't know. It made sense when I wrote it, folks. In other words, it's Hammer time.
Transylvania, land of dark forests, dread mountains, and black, unfathomed lakes.
Isn't the thing that's dead supposed to be dead for all time? But we brought it back to life.
Gentlemen, no ordinary wolf who has done this thing.
What are you afraid of?
See, she thinks we're funny.
Was that your mom?
Shout out to Jason Pritchard, as always,
Absolutely.
for that awesome Hammer intro.
Mm-hmm.
He made that a few years back for us, and we are forever grateful. Gentlemen, opening thoughts of Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. Who had not seen it before?
I hadn't seen
You
it.
had.
I had
one,
never
and
seen it
you
either.
hadn't.
So you guys had?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, many
We've
times.
seen it before.
Yeah.
Derek, you're starting us off
This
anyway.
one was a lot of fun. I loved Beswick and Bates. I thought it was the perfect casting. They look really, they were really similar looking, so it was on point. I thought it was innovative and ahead of its time, especially with everything we know now about gender and gender roles. And bringing in Burke and Hare was great. I'm a sucker for Jack the Ripper story. So I like.
They mixed a lot into
incorporated
this one.
that. Yeah, there
for
was
sure.
some really cool stuff, and the effects and the acting was great.
Nice. So, Brian?
Agreed.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell. No, this movie had it all. Like Derek said, I love a good Jack the Ripper story. Burke and Hare was a thing that I had only just kind of discovered while going through the Hammer catalog.
Yeah.
They're brought up a lot. And they were actually based on real people
Right.
as well.
Right.
These characters appear in more films.
Oh, yeah. There were actually films
okay.
directly about Burke and Hare.
Right.
And what happens to them and how...
Hammer films.
Not Hammer films
not
as such.
just in general.
Okay.
But they show up in pop culture.
Yeah,
like,
there's a good one called like the Flesh Fiends or something like that, and Peter Cushing stars in it, but it's not a Hammer film.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's worth checking out.
They're like real life famous.
Oh no, yeah, I know that.
infamous
I know
grave robbers.
Yeah.
There was a Simon Pegg had a. Did they make a movie? Simon Pegg and who's the guy who does the voice?
Nick
of
Frost?
Smeagol?
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis
I
did
think
a
you're right.
Burke and Hare film or a short television series, like maybe
I think
like
he's right, on the BBC. Or
never heard of
maybe
this.
like 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, to get back to the movie, it just had everything that I liked. Like it had the vibrant colors that Hammer's known for, the foggy London streets, all the blood, all the boobs, all the mayhem. Not so much a monster in a visual sense, but a monster personality-wise. It just had everything: Jack the Ripper, Burke and Hare, Jekyll and Hyde, tits. What more can you ask for? This movie delivered.
Cocks.
Turds. I'm not gonna have to edit in any sound bites. You guys are doing it all.
You've been doing a lot of editing lately, man.
I have.
We feel like we'll take the load off a little bit.
Share the load.
Phrasing.
Thank you. I was waiting.
Hey-o.
Tito, how about you? What did you think of this film?
This movie is awesome. Of all the ones that we've seen, it might be my favorite. I watched it again yesterday because I enjoyed it, but also I was like, I feel like I might forget some stuff, so I'll watch it again anyways. It's great, hour and a half. It's not slow at all, and it's just really interesting. I like the idea of one thing I think is dumb is like the reason why he wants to live forever, which is fine. You need something.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that he's doing this thing so he can live forever, so he can save people.
Right.
She's doing what she's doing because now that she is an entity, she wants to stay alive. So I kind of they're both kind of jerks, but they're both kind of like, what's the word? I root for both of them in this film. Like I want them both to kind of be able to live. But yeah, I thought it was.
They're both kind of like righteous. They both have.
Yeah, right, in their own ways.
Right. They both have worthwhile missions, so to speak. Especially Dr. Jekyll. You know, he wants to cure all. He's coming up with antibodies. You know, and he's like, but his friend tells him, "You're not going to have enough time to do all the things you want to do," and that's what sparks it all, and it just spirals out of control.
He rushes it, man.
Yeah.
You can't.
But it's a lot of fun, and there's some really fun scenes in this movie, and like. I was totally surprised as I was watching this movie. I was like, oh, this is awesome that they were doing this back. When did this movie come out?
1970.
1970. I was like, this shit's pretty awesome.
Yeah, really ahead of its time.
Yeah. A fun movie, though. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that could be considered a very goofy from its title, and it is, and it's a very well-made film.
Yeah.
You guys said it all, so there's no reason for me to repeat what you guys said. I will say Martine Beswick is fantastic in this. I've always liked Ralph Bates, but Martine Beswick steals this movie for me. And again, you know, in horror, the creatures, the monsters, predominantly male. This is another fine addition to a boogie woman, if you will. She's really. I kind of wish there was more of her. Like we saw more Jekyll and Hyde movies. You know, where she returns. I don't know.
This is the only version that they did. They never did. I mean, they died.
There was one, and I can't remember who the actor was. I want to say it was Tim Daly, like back in the 90s.
They did a remake.
Like Sean Young. It was
yes.
I saw that.
Ms. Hyde.
But Hammer never expanded on the story.
Hammer never revisited.
Not Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
Yeah.
But this is like their third Jekyll and Hyde movie.
Okay.
Because they had in England, I think it was released as Jekyll's Inferno, but in the States it was called The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll. And then they had another movie called The Ugly Duckling, which was a Jekyll and Hyde story that had come out prior to this.
Oh,
in the end, Dr. Jekyll turns into a beautiful swan.
There's a beautiful butterfly.
With big boobs.
Yeah. The funny thing is that this movie, the premise for it came out as a joke.
Right.
Like the producers were sitting around one day trying to come up with ideas for new movies. It was like a 3-martini lunch kind of thing. And they're kicking ideas around. Somebody brought up, you know, what about Jekyll and Hyde? And they're like, we've done it. We've done 2 of them. So somebody said, well, what about Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde? And, you know, because they were like
Sister sounds like Mr.
Yeah, exactly. We just have to change one letter and it's a whole new movie. And that's what happened. They thought it was a lark, but then they thought more about it and they produced it, and that's what we got now.
Yeah. I mean, the funny parts are funny.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
It's intentionally funny in certain areas, and it's intentionally horror. I mean, it's tough.
It never stoops to being goofy, though. They could have easily gone the comedic goofy route.
Oh, no, it could go totally absurd.
And they never do.
There's a couple of points where you're like, no, they brought it back.
They almost went there, but they reined it back in.
Yeah, right.
I just like watching the 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know, the Ralph Bates, who we've talked about before in Horror Frankenstein.
Yes.
Great actor. And
so he's in the stable.
He's in the stable.
Yeah, he's done many movies for Hammer.
Yeah.
He was also briefly in Taste the Blood of Dracula.
Taste the Blood of Dracula.
Yeah. He's the one that got them all to drink. No. Yes, it was that one.
It was him.
Yes. No. I almost.
Who are you arguing with?
My split personality.
Davey. Got a runner-up for multiple personality.
Scrapey and McGapey are arguing over here. Yeah, no, he showed up in Taste the Blood of Dracula. He was one that got all the old men to do
Drink
the
the
satanic
blood.
ritual and bring Dracula back.
All right. That's one we'll cover one day too. That's
One
that's a good
One day.
One day.
Cool.
All right.
So did we do categories?
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, you
cool.
don't have to.
I'm kind of on the fly. I don't know how good my answers will be, but you guys, you start us off. So I'll just take all of your answers.
Favorite scene, the first transformation, and not just because of the nudity, but Beswick's performance is so great. Like there's so many like small nuances that really show like the talent she had. She, like you really believed she was a man in a woman's body, like discovering her new body for the first time, and like obviously that type of scene could be played for big time laughs, but like it was they played it straight and it was really well done. And then when she kind of starts changing back and it's his hand all of a sudden.
Yes, I liked how they kept falling back on that.
Lucky him.
Yeah,
because he did get to touch her tit. But
yeah, agreed. I think that was my favorite scene too, and I loved it. For all the things that you said too, but I loved it because it was such a practical effect.
Right.
It was done with like a false mirror kind of thing. They've got Ralph Bates sitting in front of a false mirror with Martine Beswick staring back at him, and it was just great. Like he puts he disguises his face in his hands, and then the camera cuts to the mirror and it's Martine Beswick, and it was just awesome. And then everything that you said that follows after, it was just a great practical effect, and the acting, it was all acting. That's what pulled it off, and it was such a great scene.
Yeah, they're doing amazing things in this movie. Both of them, and these are I assume they're played for laughs because I laughed hysterically, and they involve Howard.
Howard, the neighbors upstairs were annoying as fuck.
The horny ass brother.
I love Howard. So, one of my favorites is where Howard meets Jekyll outside of the store, and Jekyll goes to like touch his face and stops, and then Howard looks at his hand, and then he runs away, and then Howard looks at the store and notices like all lingerie, and he's just like having a moment where he's like, "What's up with this dude?" And then he walks away
with that weird expression on his face,
the dumbest look on his face. I don't know that guy. I hope wherever you are, you're doing well. So, I love this guy. And then the end when Howard realizes that Sister Hyde was fucking Jekyll, and just the look on his face, I could.
Finkel is Einhorn, and Einhorn is Finkel.
He's having this moment of like, oh fuck, I had my hand up her pants.
He found Captain Winky.
Captain Winky, yeah.
Dude, and the look at that guy just cracked me up. My actual favorite scene is when Jekyll is transforming back and forth, and he kills Professor Roberts. Shout out to that dude. I think that guy is really funny in the movie. On purpose.
Yeah,
and he's just a really, really good actor. But that scene's great, and that was one of those. That was
the horny
scene,
old man.
Yeah, where I was watching, where I was like, oh, okay, now it's gonna get like really dumb, because like he's got the wig on, and and then it goes back and forth, and then like Professor Roberts again has the look in his face of like, oh shit, man, we were just making out, and now you're killing me, and now you're Dr. Jekyll. What the fuck? What's going on? This movie's amazing. But I really like that scene. It bums me out a little bit that there wasn't more of those like. Him in a wig. I want to see.
Yeah,
I want to see more of him in a wig, but that's
that comes in the sequel. And you're a sequel, Tito.
I can't wait.
The transformation scene in any Jekyll and Hyde movie, that's what I look for. My favorite is the Frederick Marsh one. The Spencer Tracy one, it's a pretty okay movie, but the transformation's not that great. And this one's awesome. Like you guys said, the male hand, the female body. You guys already said it. I love it. And really impressive effects for its time. Yeah.
They did
They
so
cut
much with
really
so little.
seamlessly.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Like normally I feel like you could tell like, oh, it's that off-screen hand coming in,
Right.
But it's done so well.
Yeah.
It's
really
funny,
is.
even in the later Hammer films where they went through the, so-called exploitive stages, their films were still pretty high quality.
Oh, yeah.
The quality of the film never changed. The subject matter did. Some of them did get goofier, but they never went into the absurd. Like you were saying, Tito, that just when you think there's a comedic moment that's going to tank the movie, they managed to pull back into the serious mode. And even in their more like outlandish days, I think Hammer has always hung on to that. Like in the first few early films, there's like almost no humor. And then when they had to change for the times, they were able to without losing the classic stuff that Hammer is known for. Yeah, they were just able to mix it well.
Well, and I think they tried with this one because this was at the kind of start of all that. And I know that I was reading that Martine Beswick, they wanted her to do a full frontal naked scene. And she was like, we don't need to do that. There's no reason for it. And she kind of
She had agreed to do a topless scene, and then she got into an argument.
And an argument over like, well, everybody that like all the other films are doing it. We we have to do we have to keep up with it. And she really fought not to do it, and I'm kind of glad. I mean,
no, because then it would have gotten comedic and stupid.
But also good on them because I could very easily see in that time period
a film studio saying
her not even being in the movie.
Right.
Like, okay, fuck it, we'll find somebody else who will get naked. And probably won't be nearly as good, but at least they'll be fully nude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw her butt. I saw that was cool. I was cool with what I saw.
Yeah, around that time you were seeing lots of butts, more butts than boobs.
Well, and she was pretty big.
I'll
get no.
Oh, that's what I thought you meant.
No,
She
I
was a
mean
Bond
like
girl.
I mean yeah.
Oh,
like
they
as an
started-
actress.
Oh,
like
she was a Bond
like
girl.
they were stoked to get her. They had cast someone else and it kind of fell through and they were able to get her.
Well, she had done Tito's favorite, 1 Million BC, with Raquel Welch.
She's in that movie. Which one is she?
She was the rival tribe.
Oh,
she was the
that's
dark-haired one that was
her.
fighting her.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So she was already kind of a Hammer girl as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's been in my favorite and Emily's favorite. Nice. All right, good on you, Martine. Okay.
Talk about range.
I don't have any least favorites, so you can skip me. I don't know if you guys have
What,
any
for least favorite scenes? Yeah, no, I don't think I have a least favorite scene either.
I pretty much liked it straight through.
I've seen this many. There's nothing in it that I.
Was there a scene you didn't like, Tito?
Honestly, the end bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of abrupt. They break into the house. They chase him around.
They always.
I feel like
he falls off and his face morphs and it's just like
that's how they all end. They're up on the roof. And
they kill the
die
monster
in the
and
end.
boom.
Credits.
Their endings have always been.
I would have I thought this movie was awesome. I would like to see another one. So I guess we're used to the open-ended whatever these days. So I would have liked something a little more open-ended. Or I don't know. Maybe he comes full circle. Maybe she wins and takes off. That might be too.
Goes to America
for the 70s.
Hammer never cashed in on the lesser known monsters, right? The Gorgon, the Carmilla.
No, even the werewolf. They only did one werewolf movie.
Leon, the werewolf, and
which was a shame.
The reptile, right? Was that Carmilla?
No. The reptile
Carmilla was a vampire.
Yes,
that's what I'm thinking.
So the Carmilla stories were Lust for a Vampire,
right?
Twins of Evil,
and they're vampire stuff.
Vampire lovers.
Yeah,
vampire lovers. Yeah.
But a lot of great characters that they never
Hammer
revisited.
guy now.
Strange
5 years of Hammer will do it to you.
You have this huge stable of actors and actresses, and you're making all these movies. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only other thing I didn't like is like the close up of Howard and Sister Hyde making out. I didn't enjoy.
When their noses bent.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
That guy had a
Howard.
beak.
He's not a good kisser.
I like Howard. I like her. I don't like them together.
There you go. That's a least favorite scene we can all get behind.
Not a good fit for me.
Pointed nose rubbing.
Is there anything you would change?
I would have made it longer. I mean, I know it's in your wheelhouse with an hour and a half, but I would have liked to see more scenes to build the struggle between the two of them. Like, it's kind of like it feels a little rushed. Just like, and usually the third acts of Hammer movies are kind of a little bit rushed.
Right.
They're like, quick, we got to have closure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to see more where like she's just fucking up his life,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Or
like,
you have the neighbors upstairs, which I don't think you necessarily need them.
Right.
That
to
was a
make
lot
this
of
cool
screen time.
story.
Yeah.
Well, and plus like the idea that he's committing all these murders, but it doesn't really get tracked back to him. Which you would think there would, like
that's
that
what
would be
I was
part of the story.
Disappointed in was the fact that they didn't,
right.
There weren't more consequences as far as like the Jack the Ripper murders.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everything just kind of went. Right. Everybody just went like, oh, okay, and walked away at the end.
Right.
Well, it's London. London. What are you gonna do?
London.
Yeah. You sound like you're from London.
go back to London.
Would you change anything else?
No.
Tito?
I would have liked to have seen the plan play out. So,
Yeah.
give me another 20 minutes. I want to see him either fully transform or fully defeat whatever he's transforming into. That's,
See which personality wins.
It's just, I was loving it. And, I haven't seen enough Hammer. But at the end, I was just like, oh, he just fell off the building. Okay. That's it.
Couldn't hold on.
You don't get to see her for any, like...
Seeing the face change in the stained glass window was cool while the cops are on the other side.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I would have liked to. Yeah, I don't know that you necessarily need the neighbors. You probably don't need the brother for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the sister for the love interest for him, but I don't know that they kind of took away from
other stuff.
And it's so intimate because you're either in his lab, in the hallway, or the street, which appears to be like right around the corner from his house, right where the bar is. So it's very intimate. So it's weird. I think you could have expanded more on those story without these guys, the upstairs neighbors. Fuck those guys.
Old Lena Headey.
Old Lena Headey.
That's who she reminded me of.
No, I don't really have anything. Those are good ones. Good points you guys had right there. Other than that, I can't think of anything where I was like, it's just too fun a movie for me to get crazy
pick apart
about.
Yeah.
You know.
No,
I mean, a little bit longer, a little more climactic ending. I'll back you guys up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if I had seen
a little more of a chase.
If I had been watching these movies for as long as you guys have been watching them and seen more, then it would make more. Oh, okay, this is just a Hammer style.
And every time they run by, and he's changing from Sister Hyde to Dr. Jekyll, and the cops are chasing him at this ending that never happened.
Yeah.
You see the guy that's putting up the wanted posters, and each time the description is changing. He's putting up new ones. It's a girl. It's a guy. It's a girl. It's a guy.
Kind of sketch artist trying to get
exactly.
No, the hair's longer. No, wait, it wasn't. Yes,
he has
it
a
was.
distinguishing birthmark on his cheek. Her cheek, his cheek, her cheek. That never changed.
I did like that. They did look related.
Yeah,
right.
they did.
Like, it was really good casting.
Yeah, it was. They originally wanted Carolyn Monroe.
Right.
But she didn't want to do the nudity. She never wanted to do the nudity.
That's too bad.
I know. She's amazing looking.
Kicking herself in the tit now.
Not going there. And then I think they wanted Julie Eggy or Eggy. I'm not EGE. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. She was in Playboy or Penthouse, one of the magazines back in the day, and she had done a bunch of movies, not for Hammer at that point, but where she had done nudity. She didn't want to do any more at that point, so she turned the role down. And then afterwards, she was like, "Well, I need to do nudity because I'm not getting cast." So she went back to it.
What movie did I see Carolyn Monroe in?
The Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter.
Oh, okay. I have. Okay,
Dracula.
AD 72.
She's in that one.
We did that last year.
I saw Captain Kronos, but
Captain Kronos
separately.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They're both good.
Is there anything about the movie that doesn't work for you today?
I mean, everything kind of works still, but I mean, obviously, the prostitution Ripper thing is a little dated. Like, I don't know, and the story would probably have to take place in Vegas or something.
I mean, the sex workers are going strong.
Yeah.
All over the world.
But not like so out in the open.
Would it be like Lady Boys?
There's no shortage. There's no shortage of dead hookers, Derek.
It's called a soup kitchen. It's called a soup kitchen.
Oh.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's me.
He's thinking of a soup kitchen.
I am. Yeah. I am. Did I roll up the windows of my car? I'm just. I guess everything works.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I wouldn't change anything.
Right.
Yeah. It all works for me. The only thing that, again, I liked when she transformed back into him and was wearing his clothes, but at no point does he ever change back into her wearing her clothes. And and that's one of those
dress,
maybe they're like, this is where it turns into camp. So if we do that, it's camp, and we don't want to
because that's huge in England.
Yeah,
like London loves putting guys in dresses.
Exactly, they love drag.
But there was a point where
I say, you know it's humorous. A man in women's clothing. Ah, yes, ripping good laugh.
when she changes back into him wearing the tuxedo and takes the tuxedo shirt off, I'm like, damn, she's hot.
Right,
Dude's clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it would have been.
There was a part though when it looked
if
like he was really getting into the women's clothes though.
Yeah, that's what it's so like weird.
Yeah.
And like how he's struggling
Like-
with
like
I guess
when-
his
when that dress
femininity
showed up.
or sexuality or whatever.
When he was
Yeah.
burning his clothes that had all the blood on them.
Right.
And then the upstairs neighbor comes in and says, "What are you burning?" He says, "Just some old clothes." Well, there's there's got stuff on them. And
He gets upset that they got the dress wrong.
yes,
maybe?
exactly. He says,
Yeah.
"Oh, I've got new clothes on order." She says, "Well, this happens to be it right here. Then this box was on your doorstep." And he opens it up and it's the dress, and he freaks out. And I'm like, "But is he really? Is he just putting on a
No,
show
yeah.
because you know
I got
she's
that-
there with him?" And
I got the impression that he wanted a different looking dress.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
he wanted it red.
Yeah,
but
red
like
is not my color.
something a little cut lower, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, his response.
He didn't hold it up to him
Season.
to find
Yeah,
out.
right.
You know.
Like, I am beautiful, but I have no taste.
Montage of him trying on dresses in front of a mirror.
Talking to himself. You like this one? This one's good. See? You see the neckline?
Plunge. It's got a plunge. She's got the body for it. He doesn't, but she does.
Yes.
He just keeps popping out of the dressing room with different outfits on, and his professor friend is like, shaking his head like, no, not that, no, not that.
And at the end, it's that's the one.
Exactly. We've all seen it.
High five.
Legally Blonde.
Montage?
Exactly.
Oh my God, I
the
love
trying
it.
on clothes montage.
Any romantic
The
comedy.
Cure is playing. And
Friday, I'm in love.
What I want. No. Wedding singer.
Wedding singer. Yeah, they're eating the cake.
I didn't know the
and
rest
you
of
feed
the
the cake to the lady.
I
the
hate
gross
that
lady.
song now. Every time I hear that fucking song on the radio, that's all I can think of is that gross lady.
The gross lady eating the cake. Like, I want some.
with the mouth open, waiting for Robbie to feed her, and she's like, "Ah." I hate that song now because of that. That lady ruined that song of the title I don't know, nor the words. All I know is what I want.
It's Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
know.
make my dreams come true.
Thank you. Yeah, Hall and Oates.
That movie made me like the song more. I don't know. I think that seems hilarious.
That girl disgusts
That lady,
me.
yeah, she's gross, but
Ruined it.
She certainly didn't put you off cake, though.
No, she No.
Sad clown.
Next.
That one hurt me, too. Jeez.
I was saying your name.
Like, I like cake, too.
I love cake.
We all love cake. Look at us. I'm one to talk.
I actually don't like cake. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
I never
Did put
liked
you off
cake
cake.
before. No. It turned me off to gross waitresses, I guess. Next.
This one's kind of a reach. I don't know enough about the company, but award for what are you doing in this movie?
I went with her, with Martine Beswick, because she was so familiar, and I didn't know where I knew her from. And then I realized she was a Bond girl, and she was a Bond girl twice.
Two different characters?
Yeah, she played Zora, it was the second movie that they ever made, From Russia with Love, and then she came back and played Paula in Thunderball. So she was.
I didn't know she was
twice.
I had no,
a two-time Bond girl.
one.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen enough Bond movies.
there's a couple other ones. I can't remember who, but there's a couple girls that
were,
yeah. Maud Adams.
Maud Adams. I was going to say, yeah.
She played
Octopussy
Octopussy and someone
yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Pusher galore. Pusher. Petula Clark.
In the ass.
Yes.
Sean Connery went
In
downtown.
the ass. Like that?
In the ass.
In the ass. And the chair.
That reminds me. That makes me think of Robert Goulet.
And the chair.
And the curtains.
Junior, check it out.
Mailed it to the
Two in the pink, one in the stink, Junior.
Two in the goo, one in the poo.
Dad, I was the next man.
I know, I was there.
Brian, what about you?
What are we doing in this movie? I'm going to put what's the category?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
What are you doing?
What are you doing in
this
this movie?
movie?
I'm going with what aren't you doing in this movie? There was no Michael Ripper.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. I would have liked to seen him as the constable. Who was funny.
Right. Or the
Yeah,
professor.
stay sober. Stay sober.
The Dick Miller
I need
of
a
Hammer.
witness. Witness for what? Well, you never know.
Oh, I don't. What have I seen that he's in?
What?
Michael Ripper?
Michael Ripper?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in a ton of Hammer movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He usually plays like a barkeep or a drunk.
Yep.
He's usually on either
Or
side of the
both.
bar.
Yeah.
Well,
Is he in Prince of Darkness? We're watching that one tonight. I wonder if I don't even.
He was in the one earlier.
He was in the one earlier
He
we
was
were
in
watching.
Scars of
Yeah.
Dracula.
Yep.
As an innkeeper.
Yep.
Is he in Captain Kronos?
He is not in
No.
Captain Kronos.
Scars of Dracula. I never saw that.
I like that one.
He's in a ton of Hammer movies.
Yeah.
Hammer.
I went with Burke and Hare just because I thought it was kind of cool that they were in the movie.
That's true.
I'm not super familiar with a lot of these actors and actresses, but I thought the idea of that was really, really cool. And the Jack the Ripper aspect of the film I thought was really, really fun. This is it's a good movie. It's good.
It's a good mashup.
Yeah.
Jekyll and Hyde and Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Because it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like that they would be
Happening around the
whole
same time.
Victorian London kind
Yeah,
of.
and the scientist who's very methodical and
Right.
nobody puts it together that the guy who's killing all these prostitutes.
Because
Probably the guy who's really good at
because he needed
science.
bodies to dissect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You got one over there? Kayla?
None. No. Yeah, I know what everybody's doing in that
You got
movie.
everybody.
They're
Yeah,
acting.
Yeah.
They're earning a paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except that guy in the back. He snuck on the set.
That one guy.
That one dude.
What are you doing there?
You got any favorite quotes?
The hormone speech. Hormones, like the when he's like explaining the way that hormones work, and I fucking love it. It's
always talk
hilarious.
about how women's hair don't fall out. And
Right,
That's a
right.
Good,
Yeah.
oh,
And
I
like
love
that,
that.
yeah.
I love
Yeah, the
that.
skin is always silky
It's-
smooth.
Yeah. I thought that was.
You know what makes that? Hormones. It's like an infomercial for hormones.
It slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries.
With a break, hormones.
It broke.
I did think that was like very clever. As much as I thought, what is a hormone? Just like a little piece of meat that you cut out of a chick's neck? I don't.
That was
is that
a
a
little weird.
hormone?
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm assuming it was like some type of gland, like
A
something
gland.
that, you know,
Yeah. Something that oozed.
something that like whatever in the woman's body that creates estrogen. I guess.
Sebaceous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sebaceous. Is that a word?
I know this is a sebaceous gland. I don't know what it does.
okay.
I heard it on a smart show.
That's the only thing. As I was watching him kill the prostitutes, I was like, "What's he? He's taking out a hormone."
Yeah.
Right. It's almost like is he gonna eat it?
He
Is
only
he
had a
eating
little
it like
bag.
Yeah, I know, like a steak.
It's like
A
a
doggy
molar,
bag, yeah.
you know, just
Count's
removing
battery.
molars, just removing hormones,
I'll
pulling
take
hormones.
This one. This one.
I wonder if he was just like, oh, I don't like the look of this hormone. I'm just gonna leave this body
Crap. 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 Ah, now this is good.
here. Yeah, this is a good hormone.
Yeah. Oh, that's good hormone.
More hormone, please.
Hormones again.
They stay crunchy even in milk.
Give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything.
Yeah. Perfect.
Well, you have to take it apart to make the elixir, right? I need to know more.
Right. I know.
I need more. I needed a second movie.
Yeah.
And a third and a fourth.
The whole franchise.
Yeah.
And then by 5, you get Rock. You get Rock in there.
6, they go to
Because
space.
it starts to trail off a little
Yeah.
bit. You get Statham, you get Rock. You kick the franchise up a notch. Right?
And throw
Then
in
go to space.
Momoa and
Yeah, get
and
Momoa.
Space and
Then it becomes campy.
Momoa could have played both roles.
Exactly.
Based on his character in
I'm
Fast
Dante.
and the Furious.
Ashante.
Fast X,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
He could have been
Painting his
Dr.
nails and
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Every time I told somebody they saw this movie, I kept saying Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. I was like, oh, Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. And I was like, well, that's not nearly as clever as Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. I should stop fucking this up.
Miss Hyde. That was good.
you were thinking of Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what it was.
Mrs. Columbo.
You got any quotes that you really like over there?
Not so much verbatim, but I do like when they're arguing about the fly being male or female.
Oh, yeah. You see the little eggs?
Yeah, and then who laid those eggs? Oh. He breaks out the big ass magnifying glass and looks.
How do you
in.
know? Did you look up the
Did you
fly
lift up his
skirt?
skirts?
Those eggs, I'm sure they were fake, but they really grossed me out.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
It looked real enough
somebody
to me.
laid that in there? Yuck.
Exactly.
Yuck.
It's tapioca as seen from space.
I really like how he calculated how long that fly had lived.
Yeah.
Always like 72 hours. This fly's 200 years old. It's like, where's the math?
Exactly.
Where's the math?
Show your work.
Yeah, right. So 3 days, 72 hours. Oh, it's 200 years old. According to what? Who knows how long?
According to Jim.
Yeah, right.
Pieces of fly.
This movie is so fun. Professor Roberts is my favorite character in this movie, besides Howard. He says, 2's company, 3's positive deviation. Fucking baller shit, man. He is like, he's the best wingman ever.
Right.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry. No, you got a girl. I'll leave.
Yeah.
You need to get some. But also, like, he was also, and then he was like, oh, it's your sister. Okay, I'll bang her. Forget it. And then Professor Roberts, when she says that she's his sister, he's, the deuce you are.
What the deuce?
Shades of Stewie Griffin.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, man,
The
I
deuce
love
you
this
said.
guy. He is so much. That guy is so much fun. That
Yeah.
character, Professor Roberts. I was bummed that he died.
Yeah.
I was bummed that he died. I would have preferred Howard to die.
You could have changed that.
I would have
Something,
changed
right,
that.
to
Keep
change it.
Professor
Yeah.
Roberts, because there's a little bit of that foil, because he's like, oh, it's Dr. Jekyll's doing it, so he gets the cops involved. And they're, they're checking out, they're scoping, they're on that stakeout getting drunk. That was my other favorite. I'm no bloody Lothario, but I know a bloody woman when I see one. Sergeant Danvers. I like Sergeant Danvers.
Yeah.
I also like that the police in London just have whistles.
Right.
That's all they need.
Yep. Yeah.
Get over here. We got stab wounds.
Yeah, who are they calling? All the townspeople show up
Everyone
and
but
disturb
each
the crime
other.
scene.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Touch everything.
Pitchforks, pots and pans. Bring out your dead.
Lick that. Is that blood?
No, just taste the blood of Dracula. Don't drink it.
Yeah, don't.
Just drink it. Just taste.
Sniff this, but don't inhale.
You got any quotes?
Yeah,
that
the
you like?
Lothario one is awesome.
The Lothario one's good.
Yeah.
Again, I think they got like this buddy cop situation happening.
Yeah.
Cut out the upstairs neighbors.
Yeah.
Go buddy cop movie with the Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
That'd
But the
be
neighbors
fun.
make me laugh, though.
Right.
The neighbors, the sister, I thought was. I'm torn between Sister Hyde and the sister because the sister's kind of annoying.
She is. She's
but I
very
think
annoying.
She's super cute.
Yeah,
is.
you were kind of hoping Sister Hyde would hit on Sister.
Oh, a little bit.
But that would have gone
That's
into
a
a
movie.
whole different direction.
Can't wait to see.
And
That's
thus
a horse
the,
of a different color.
And thus the Scissor Sisters were born.
Oh gosh! Imagine transforming back mid scissor
And getting stuck like the two brides
and just mashing it. No, now you're just mashing it.
Wait a minute.
You're gonna have to stop that. You're mashing my
Something's
penis.
wrong. Something's wrong down there, dude. Stop.
Oh, God, I can't wait to see the sequel.
I say, could you stop mashing my John Thomas?
So fun. You got an MVP?
Fuck yeah, Martine Beswick.
Same.
Agreed.
Fantastic.
Sister
Absolutely
Hyde.
gorgeous.
Throwing that in there.
Looked just like him. Although she was gorgeous.
Well,
And
he's gorgeous. He's a gorgeous man, that
See, I
Ralph
guess he's a
Bates.
good looking
He's
man.
the best looking dude in that movie.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think.
sure.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the best
Yeah.
looking guy in that
He's
movie.
got a little Henry Thomas.
A little bit, yeah, I can see that.
Oh, the hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she
Norman
was just
Bates.
awesome. She I loved the character and I loved the way that she played it.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm on
Yep.
board. I
Martine.
feel like it's a,
Martine.
All the way. It's her movie.
Team Martine.
I didn't realize she was so popular. I just
So
put Sister
Bond-like,
Hyde.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't either.
She is. She's like, I don't know, man. She's like oozing through the screen.
Right.
Like sex appeal.
I love how you use oozing.
she made
I've
me
never
ooze.
heard that.
She's
you
like,
said that about Suzanne Sarandon.
Dude, she's just like fucking oozing sex appeal.
And I'm like,
man.
that's exactly what that is.
And she's like secreting out of her fucking pores.
It's like the Ring.
Yeah.
She's
It's like
oozing out of my
She's
teeth.
crawling out of the TV, crawling across the floor.
There's a puddle of whatever her name is
Yeah.
all over the floor.
Metaphorically.
There's a
Yes,
puddle of
there's a metaphorical
Martine all
puddle.
over the floor.
But just like
Sydney,
through
the
the
TV
screen.
I got Martine Beswick all over me.
Do TVs leak?
Regina Hall, friend of the show.
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall.
Oh, God.
Show
Shake us
Regina
bear.
Hall. Shake us
Shake
bear.
us bear.
You want to kill the camera.
I feel like you. Last night, man, cracking up at that scene, no matter how many times I see it. I just fucking love it. I paid my ticket just like everybody. Oh, God, she's awesome.
Love her.
She needs to do more.
Yeah.
I know she's fine. She's doing a lot, but I think she
getting
needs
work.
to do
Yeah.
more.
She's no Craig Robinson, but she's
No.
getting by.
Her and Craig Robinson need to team
Make
up.
a movie together.
Oh, man.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Now we're cooking with Regina.
That's oozing.
That's oozing.
It should be called
oozing
Hire
fucking
Me.
talent. Hire Me, yeah.
Oh, remake Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
Oh,
with Craig
Craig
Robinson
Robinson
and Regina Hall.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That is a fucking dream team right there.
That would be awesome.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I would totally see that.
So
Yeah,
3GD
let's
presents.
do that.
Yeah. So I didn't see the it's not Tim Daly. It's
Don't
the
do
other
that to
guy?
the dog. Dog don't like that.
What?
The one with Sean.
I thought
Sean Young.
It's Tim Daly.
Yeah, Tim Daly.
Yeah, from Wings.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Or
ever
is it
seen
Steven Weber?
No, it's Tim
No,
Daly.
I
Okay.
thought
Yeah.
it was at first, but I'm
I've
pretty
seen
sure
it. It's awful. It's god awful.
It looks
I've never
terrible.
seen it.
Anything with Sean Young is pretty
You know,
bad.
I gotta say, I gotta agree. She
Like,
is
she's
awful.
not good. I don't know
What about Blade Runner?
who decided.
She got
She
lucky.
stood there.
She got lucky
The
with
movie's
that
good.
She
movie.
had
She's
like
not-
3 lines.
yeah.
All she
Yeah.
did was stand there.
That's an Untouchables thing. She
She's
was
just-
surrounded by enough
And
talent.
she's hard to look at. She's just there's something about her.
Really? I always.
I
Thought
mean, she
I always
screams
thought Sean
crazy.
Young was so pretty.
She
Well,
absolutely
then you
screams
hear the
crazy.
stories, and you're like, oh, she's a lunatic.
Yeah.
Oh, totally a
No,
lunatic.
I don't
Yeah.
think she's bad on
I
the
always thought
eyes.
she
I
was
just
a pretty
after
lady.
hearing all the stories and watching interviews with her.
Is she the one that
it's
wanted
tough
to be
see.
Catwoman?
That's the
Yeah.
one who
And, like,
dressed up
showed
as
up
as
Catwoman.
Catwoman
Right.
and scared the
Well,
shit
all
out of
right,
Tim
yeah, no, She
Burton.
was supposed to be Vicky Vale. And
It takes a
she
lot to
went-
scare Tim
I
Burton.
know, right? Have you seen when he's married?
Oh man,
Helena Bonham
Bonham
Carter. She's
Carter.
scary.
Whoa,
looking.
I love Helena Bonham Carter. She's sexy,
What was the
scary.
Cartoon Cavalcade? Did you ever end up watching Cartoon
I
Cavalcade?
know. Have you
No,
watched it?
I still have to.
When the guy's having sex with the corpse, and then she wakes up, and he's like, Helena Bottom Carter. He thinks he's having
getting
sex with
there.
the corpse. Hello, Helena Bottom Carter.
So Sean
my
Young was
God.
supposed to be Vicky Vale. They had her all set to go, and then she went horseback riding and had an accident.
Right.
Fell off her horse, and she couldn't
Yeah.
do it. So we got Kim Basinger.
Oh, maybe that's
Basinger.
where it all started.
And it kind of, I think it knocked something around in there because
Did the horse kick her in the head
I think so.
after she
now
fell
I just
off?
feel bad for her.
No, I don't. Because
She's not like
something-
Margot Kidder level crazy, is she?
No.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Oh, no, I think
has
she
she
is.
ripped her hair out and
I've
running around
heard
and-
like she is
Did
just
Margot
she is
Kidder do
fucking out there.
she's out there, but Margot Kidder is like fucking
Well,
was
Margot Kidder was I think
like
it was
that
the
Family
drugs.
Guy episode was not exaggerating that much. She was
Just
running
crashing
around
through the window.
Forgot my purse.
Hiding in the bushes. And...
I think
she's such a good Lois Lane.
I think she was no, not really.
Oh, I love her as Lois. I thought she was great as Lois Lane.
You got me. Who's got you? Got the smoker voice in there.
I love it.
Just one step away from Gilbert Godfrey. You got me. Who's got you? So there you go, folks.
Get Superman. What?
If there ever was a time that I liked a horse, it's the one that got Sean Young. So I could get Kim Basinger
Oh, yeah,
as
you hate
Vicky
horses.
Vale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kim Basinger is a great Vicky Vale. That's
For
it.
Kim Basinger, Sean Young, no contest
Yeah,
as
I
far
would
as I'm
take-
concerned.
I
So,
would take,
so there is one horse I would not want to see drown in the swamps of sadness, and it is that one.
Oh.
Yeah, all the other ones can fuck off. Although,
Sean Young, friend of the show.
Friend of the
I
show.
do,
Yeah, right.
I do like her in
Not
Ace
for much
Ventura.
longer.
Raise a glass to
I
Sean
love-
Young.
Einhorn? She's awesome in
She's
that.
great in Ace
She's great
Ventura.
in Ace
She's
Ventura.
hilarious in that.
I like her.
She's
All right.
believable.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, where did we leave off?
MVP. Oh no, yeah.
We
Yeah,
all
we did
agreed on the
MVP. We all
MVP.
agreed on bit.
Okay.
It makes the
Martine.
rotation, everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Across
Yeah.
the board. This
Yep.
is a fun ass movie. How does it stack up? Other
Jekyll
and Hyde's, other Hammer films.
I think it's up there for Jekyll
Yeah,
and
it would be
Hyde's.
up there for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And up there for split personality type movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen enough Hammer movies, but it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Up
that
there
I-
for
that I've
Hammer
seen.
Phase 2
yeah.
movies too.
Yeah.
Phase 2.
Yeah.
Phase
Oh, they were
2.
like Marvel.
Well, kind of. Yeah.
It goes by decades. I mean,
Once
the
Dracula
60s
got the Infinity Stones, it just went downhill.
Downhill.
I mean, it was
Fair
no,
enough.
it was
I
It
know
was
that.
civil war between Dracula and Frankenstein.
right?
It was no Dracula AD. That one's always going to be one of my favorites from that era. But
I love
I
that
do
one.
love that
So
one.
that's in the same era.
I thought
as
so.
that.
Am I
I-
wrong?
Well,
I
as
did
far
like
as like
that
being
movie.
made, but
Yeah.
Well, and so is the Karsak trilogy, like because that was post,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
it was during the
19 I've said this
exploitation.
before. 1970 seemed to be the year that Hammer really changed. That's when they,
Right.
you know, like
Yeah.
they saw like everybody else is putting nudity and stuff.
Right.
We have to go
Yeah, the
a
Mummy
little more
movies
explicit. We
and-
Boobs to the
exactly.
wall.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, before they were just known for like the cleavage, but now they're going like,
Now they know for the butts.
Everything's hanging out.
Everybody had a bare bum at that point.
That's
nice
right.
Butts too.
Yeah.
A lot of people
The
doing
women,
squats on set.
the men and women were looking better than those earlier Hammer films. They were, both of them.
Squats and Kegels.
Yeah. Squats.
We're cops.
Creep.
No. He's squats. I'm Kegels. We're cops.
That's like Burke and Hare.
Exactly.
William squats.
Well, it was
William
the 70s.
Kegel.
Lots of hair.
Yeah, lots of hair. Old fashioned. That's the way I like it.
Very old jungle down there.
Exactly. Sergeant Merkin.
I didn't do this one. You got a sequel?
Absolutely. I think that a female student should happen upon Dr. Jekyll's notes and attempt to recreate the formula, leading to disastrous results where she becomes a male killer. A little
Nice.
switcheroo.
What's the hormone though?
Testosterone.
She wants to be stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
She wants
Why you
equality.
You're like gritting at me.
No, I
Freaking
think
me
it
out.
would, especially like now, nowadays.
Look at me, testosterone.
Somebody gives the student a copy of all 3 Expendables movies, and she watches them again and again. And
What about part 4? Well, she can watch them and then get to the 4th
Yeah.
one when it comes out.
That's right.
So the opposite, you want to?
Yeah, I want to see a switcheroo.
Gender bend.
I'm not a big fan of when they gender swap characters. I think it's like a little bit lazy writing. But I would like with this, I would like to see that. I think it would have been cool.
What about you, Ramsey?
I'd like to see, instead of her and him dying at the end, they escape, and her personality becomes the dominant one, as it seemed to be tracking, and she goes off to America and continues where she left off in Britain.
Yeah, I would have liked some of that, or maybe some like I always like when there's like a dual personality and they look in the mirror and the other personality's there.
Right, locked.
If it gets
Like
to a point
trapped,
where
like, inside
he
them.
can talk to her
Exactly.
through the mirror,
Yeah.
or she can talk to him through the mirror.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen that expanded and
Like Willem Dafoe
Yeah.
as, the...
Green Goblin.
Yeah, the Green
Right.
Goblin.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
talking to himself.
Right.
those 2 scenes. He's like,
Those scenes are awesome.
he's like dancing around
I
like
know.
an icky elf. Here's the thing you need to do, Harry. It looks like he's about to break out in a musical number.
Exactly.
Hello, Gobby. Well, hello, Gobby. But that was the first one. They hadn't gone to dance numbers yet.
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
no. The third one.
Emo Toby.
Hello, Venom. Well enough.
You got a sequel?
Yeah, I want Martine Beswick back, and I just she can have some of the memories of Ralph Bates again, seeing her and him in a reflection maybe, but I want her to become a staple again, Boogie Woman. I want her to be a slasher.
Your name? Speak up, man.
Shropshire Slasher.
Occupation?
Shropshire Slasher.
You know, I'd like to see her do more work, do more experience, whether it's a slasher or just an evil doctor. An evil femme fatale mad scientist.
Did we
or
ever
something.
do that as a appetizer? Female
Slasher?
No, we never did.
No.
That would have been a really good one.
That's a short list, though. I feel like, right? Like I can't.
Well,
even
that's
think
why
of it.
we narrow it down to one.
That's why I thought this one was going to be
Yeah.
a short list, too,
Yeah.
for split
There's
personality
There's
movies.
a lot of good ones.
Let's do that next week.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple.
Yeah.
I got this. Yeah.
Lots.
And you do too, Tito. I have faith in you.
All right, I think I'll think on it. But yeah, I definitely like the murderous. Yeah, but it's weird because like
Chicago's got like 8 more
where you
murders.
think it's like murder out of necessity. So I don't know. I give her a pass for some reason. When I see her doing it, I think like, well, she just wants to stay alive.
Well, in this
it's
one,
wrong
but if
to
we're
do.
going into a sequel where she's just crazed with power or wants to continue living and
What if she just needs the
likes what
hormone
she
to-
does? Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Maybe she gets a.
I want to blow somebody's
Or
mind
at some
right
point
now.
she becomes permanent and she just wants women, like she just wants to be a strong woman and
likes
take
killing.
out awful men.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah.
You know?
So I'm gonna pose this question to you guys: when Jekyll turns into Sister Hyde, and all the anatomy is working, isn't he then producing his own hormone to keep him a woman?
I don't know. I think it's big. I think it's the serum. No, because the serum is what has that hormone that's.
But it turns him into a woman. But it's a female hormone.
because he's got the serum in him.
But
Once
now
once the
she is a
serum's
female,
digested,
isn't she creating the hormone?
once she
Chicken
pops a
or the
squat
egg?
and pisses out that serum, it's over. That
No, but
back.
she's making it.
No,
I would think she
making
would.
the
You think she'd
hormone,
be
right?
making the hormone?
She's a woman in the.
Yeah,
she's
if she's still
like,
making,
well, I guess the longer
secreting that.
Yeah, the longer
It
she
looked
stays
like
in female form.
It looked like it was going longer and longer.
Right.
Like she was one that was becoming the dominant personality.
That
So
is
maybe
true.
Tito's onto something.
Yeah.
She's creating the hormone
Yep.
inside of
Inside,
herself.
and that's why she was becoming the dominant one.
So she really didn't have to try so hard. She just had a little bit of
Right.
patience. It would have happened
little bit more
eventually.
patience.
And then it could have just become her just, wreaking
He was
havoc
screwing it
against disgusting men.
Women.
Also, does anybody ever find that letter? Do we think anybody ever found the letter that he wrote that got washed away? The
student.
seemed pointless.
I did
My
the student's
student-
going to find the
my
letter that
student's
he
gonna
wrote.
find that
Is
letter.
that in the post-credit?
Sure.
Your post-credit
Sure,
scene?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did like how this movie started at the end, or like 3/4 of the way
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah, like the Ripper murders are happening.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I like that, which seems like fairly early. I can't think of too many movies.
Well, and it
That's
jumped
a great
around a lot
scene,
too, like
too.
because
That is an
is
awesome
it Burke
scene.
or Hare the one that got the lime in the face? Ended up blind.
I'm not sure.
Because one of them ends up a blind guy, and there's a blind guy, but you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
find out that blind guy is Hare or Burke, whoever.
No,
he
that
shows.
wasn't.
that was him.
No.
Yeah.
He becomes.
Yes,
The blind guy was not Hare, was it?
yeah, because it kept jumping from like
This is
yeah,
better than
and
my hormones.
Oh, I'm
thing.
gonna have to rewatch this movie again.
and that's
Yeah,
why
me too.
he recognized him.
I watched it yesterday.
I thought he
Yeah,
recognized him
that's
because he was really good with his other senses.
That's what I thought.
I
too.
don't know.
Like he could either smell,
Like he had a Daredevil thing.
I don't know.
going.
Maybe I read it wrong.
because
That
he ran by him one time.
Yep.
And he was like, this is what he was telling the cops. He went this way.
But
He
then,
could hear
but
him
then
run.
he finds out what's going on.
And then I
how
thought
they're being
maybe he
murdered.
like smelled what he smelled like. Maybe he had like the chemical smell all over him. And that's how
Yeah.
he was like easily distinguishable. And then when he kind of recognized it on Sister Hyde, Mrs. Hyde, because she probably still smells like him, her, with the chemicals or whatever. And, he's like Daredevil with the heightened senses.
Yeah,
He's like,
see,
That's
think
what I
it's
thought
the-
it was.
Yeah, I
That's not
didn't
the
think
same
that was
actor,
Hare.
I think it's
is
the
it?
same guy because he only got like deformed and blinded by the lime, and that was before. That was when he wasn't killing people yet. He was stealing the bodies because he was working on the formula, and then it cuts to later on. Now he's the Jack the Ripper killer. This blind guy's in the streets.
see, I didn't
Women
think,
are getting murdered,
I didn't
and
think
then-
that much time had gone by.
Because then he ends up finding out that because he looks older. But I think I think something maybe the lime like made his hair grayish. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I'm pretty sure.
Is it? No, he's not the town crier.
No,
Because when he had the blind glasses on, I'm like, oh, it's John Lennon with a hurdy-gurdy, whatever you want to call
Oh
it.
yeah. I thought the monkey was gonna pop out
Yeah.
of the box. And start dancing. It's not Biker, is it?
No, Biker was the creepy morgue attendant.
Oh yeah.
Don't take that one.
So there's
She's my
William Hare,
favorite. I've grown attached to
Fire,
that one.
Betsy.
Oh.
William Hare was Tony Calvin.
Like, is there a
I
blind
don't
guy listed?
No,
Because I think the blind guy was
Was
one
Hare?
of them. Yeah.
it was Marie, Margie, Julie, Petra, Helen. I'm assuming these are all the whores. Knife grinder, first sailor, second sailor, Jill, young apprentice, street singer.
No, Street Singer is the singing whore.
Man in pub, tavern patron with top hat.
And that's when the horrors come
Local
in.
man, Harry Fielder. Oh, interesting. I don't
Derek,
know.
you might be onto something.
I think I am. I don't know.
They're messing around with time also. This movie gets better and better the more we talk about it. And she's making her own hormones. Stop one-upping me.
The blind man Hare connects Jekyll with the Whitechapel Ripper murderer.
Is it?
Yeah, I
The
think
blind
there's an
man
article.
hair.
But yeah, the blind man Hare connects
Yeah.
Jekyll with the Whitechapel Ripper murderer. The police come for Jekyll.
All these times I've seen it, I always thought they were two separate
He
guys.
didn't really look the same to me.
But
No,
because
same
he was
here.
all done up because the lime like
Fucked him up.
fucked up his face because that shit like
It's caustic.
you can put dead bodies in lime and
It'll eat it away. Yeah.
Not that I've done it.
I've read. I've been told.
I read words.
Dude, that's... Oh, man.
I was tempted back when I worked for Clean Harbors.
That's
and
awesome.
There were 55-gallon drums of lime that we were picking up.
Tito's still learning things about the movie.
Yeah,
we all are,
yes,
actually.
That's
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal.
Right.
Great
Yeah.
job, Hammer. Seriously. You got a post-credit scene?
Howard stumbling upon the serum and testing it out, becoming a buxom blonde.
Oh, Howard.
And she's just a whore.
I would like to see the female equivalent of Howard. 'cause
There
that's
was
a
something
weird-looking
going on
dude.
with Howard too, because there was one scene where I thought he was like kind of like looking at his sister, like, "Oh, hey,"
Yeah.
Possibly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you want to have sex with you, I will.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What are you
doing, step bro?
Let's just get Mother out of the room.
Yeah,
She's like,
let her
playing
watch.
solitaire.
You got a post-credit scene?
I do. So Sister Hyde is stalking the Whitechapel neighborhood, and she kills the street singer because of that god-awful song that they keep playing the same fucking line over and over again.
She only knows the one song.
The one part of it. Oh, my God. And it was terrible.
Wonder World. No, I don't know the actual song.
Mine is Howard taking a flaming hot shower at the end of the movie.
A la Crying Game?
Yeah. It's like, what did I do? Mother! Give me another pot of hot water.
Stuffing wads of cinnamon gum in his mouth.
Yeah, right. I said scrape harder.
Still not clean. Still not clean.
Can't wash away the shame.
That was totally cool and very interesting. I wonder, this movie I thought was a lot of fucking fun. You got
I'm going with the sketch artist again because I like that one. Sketch artist trying to get witnesses.
Yeah.
And there's just like 3 or 4 people like, no, it was he. It was a she. It was a he. It was a she. Guys with the erase. God damn it.
He just keeps drawing Picasso after Picasso.
Just triangle faces.
It was a man. It was a woman. It was Hillary Swank. There you go. Close enough. Take that. Look for Hillary Swank.
Sticky finger strikes again.
Is that me? I'm Sticky Fingers?
Sticky Fingers, yeah.
Sticky Fingers, Gapey McGapey.
Yeah, Scrapey McGapey.
These are our porn names.
We get to have porn names?
It's when, eventually we're going to... Brian's looking into signing us up for OnlyFans.
Exactly.
Oh, my God, imagine. How fun would that be?
Add that to the end.
Depends who you
End of
are.
the show announcements. We can be found on OnlyFans.
First month's free.
Keep watching the skies or OnlyFans. 'Cause we're on there now.
Oh, boy.
Ew.
Final thoughts on this movie?
I love it. Oh, sorry, you start.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
No, it's awesome. I love it. It was really, really well put together, well acted, and I'll definitely watch it again.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are getting into these, and
Totally.
enjoying them as much as I enjoy
I
them.
love Hammer horror movies now, and it's because of you guys. Like I never would have watched any of these movies. That I know.
I grew up
on
with
the
these
show.
things. I remember them from Creature Double Feature on Channel 56.
No, and
Saturday afternoons, man. That was my first exposure to these things, and they never left me.
And I feel like there's only been one that I really just didn't like. And
Which one was that?
That was Plague.
Oh, Plague of the Zombies?
Plague of the Zombies.
Yeah.
Which if I watched it again, maybe
They're
I
hit
would.
and miss.
Yeah.
You know, I get a little bit of enjoyment out of every one of them, but yeah, there are some that are better than others.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, 1 million. Raquel Welch is a fucking gem, though.
Mm-hmm.
So it's worth it just to see her in it. Right. And then Martine
Beswick.
McBride isn't. Yeah, Beswick
McBride.
is in it too.
McBride.
And she's a gem. There's some nice gems in that movie, and some of the effects are really fun to watch.
Yeah,
but,
some good holograms too.
I have. I wouldn't have thought I would have liked a lot of these films, but this one especially I thought was fantastic and a lot of fun to watch.
I don't think there's any I really hate or dislike. There's some I watch more than others, but
right, same here.
There's never one I've been like, oh, that was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even the cornier ones, the Karnstein trilogy, they're all awesome.
Yeah,
I love those. I love
them.
them. Yeah. Vampire Circus.
Yeah,
That's a crazy fucking movie.
That's a fun one.
Ingrid Pitt. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
Reptile. Yeah.
Yep.
No, we did that one before.
What's the one with the Twins of Evil?
Twins of Evil.
Twins of Evil.
Oh.
We watched that.
Yeah.
Yes, we
that
did.
was last year.
Yeah.
That was the cars. Yeah, that was one.
Oh no, well you guys recorded it, but Oh no, was I on during then?
You were not on during Twins
I think we
of
watched
Evil.
it separately.
We just kind of watched it.
I think we watched it one night.
okay.
Yeah. I remember you guys recorded the episode for it, but
such
I
plumage.
remember seeing it later.
Yeah, that's a great line.
That was a fun movie. Yeah, I think these movies are a lot of fun, especially this
I do
one.
too. Yeah.
I want to see how long that was going to go.
I know. Should I cue up the crickets again?
Go for it. I'm sorry. I already said it. This is an awesome movie. I've watched it many times and I like it a lot. It's I'm a Jekyll and Hyde fan anyway.
Yeah.
A Jekyll and Hyde movie, and this one's really good.
Yeah.
Any Hammer film, I'll revisit. So that's it. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Dr. Jekyll, Sister Hyde.
Okay, check it out. We're all in agreement. We all like this one.
Yeah.
What a way to start off. The heading to Halloween.
Hammer Halloween.
Whatever the fuck it is.
Halloween Hammers?
Halloween Hammer.
Hammer
Houdini,
Hammer Halloween.
Hummity, hummina, hummina, hummina. What's making your geek flag fly, folks?
I got two. I saw Haunting of Venice, which I was excited for.
That's out?
Yeah, so Agatha Christie's original novel was called Halloween Party. It has never been made, like, adapted. And it kind of hasn't here. Like, they really, it was a little bit different, a lot different. There were a lot of things that were different about. But it's possibly my favorite of the three Kenneth Branagh Poirot films.
Okay.
Cool. It had a great cast. It not as huge as an ensemble as the first one, and it could have been because there's definitely a ton of characters in the book, but there's also, I think, the big thing that they didn't want to do a direct adaptation is because, like, the main person that dies in that book is a kid.
Oh,
so
interesting.
a little girl. So that's probably why. But not.
Oh, do you think for, like, commercial appeal?
Probably,
I feel like
yeah.
those movies get made and they can be successful.
Right.
Like
Well,
Last
and
Voyage of
plus
the
I think,
Yeah, right.
well, and I know that, like,
Right.
Kenneth Branagh had said that, like, the first two they made, like, really close to the book adaptations, and they wanted to kind of surprise the audience, and which was good. I mean, I had to kind of remind myself that this wasn't like, it wasn't going to be like the book. I like that not every actor in it was as well known, which I'm torn because I really do like the big ensembles from the first two movies. It was really cool to see, like, all these really good actors.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, especially where this was, like, more of a horror, I like a horror movie to have people I don't recognize.
Oh, it is.
It
is more of a horror.
Puts me more in it. But yeah, it was really good. And the other one I watched recently was American Carnage. So I bought this on Vudu, and it was part of a mix and match. That's
Is that
why.
what the kids in the...
In the jumpsuits? With Jenna Ortega.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
When they're in, like, the kids go to...
Right. So
They're illegal immigrants.
Right.
Right. Okay. I watched the trailer. Yeah.
So Jenna, I didn't watch the trailer. I don't know what made me buy this
Oh, really?
movie.
Sometimes-
Maybe Jenna Ortega, probably.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Sometimes
like, oh, I
I
love
scroll
her.
through your Vudu and just watch trailers. I'm not, seriously.
No.
Like, I look through the movies and I
I've
watched
done
that
that.
trailer and I was like, I'm going to watch this movie.
So I didn't. So I didn't even read the description. So I had no idea. I had no idea what I was getting into. All right,
Just rolling those dice, huh?
Right, totally. So Jenna Ortega.
You have a problem.
I do. I totally do.
I don't even
Dude,
know what
did
I
you see
bought.
today? I bought a bunch today too.
Did you today?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. But yeah, so Jenna Ortega collecting horror movie roles like they're Infinity Gems.
Yeah. Right.
Despite the blood on the cover and the name American Carnage, I did not realize this was a horror movie. It shows her and a group of Hispanic kids in what looks like prison jumpers. So I thought it was going to be like Breakfast Club meets Shawshank. Instead, it's Get Out meets Red State. It's definitely politically charged, a la recent dark class-related satirical flicks like Red State, The Hunt, and I Care a Lot. It also has Alan Maldonado, he plays one of the wrestlers in that show Heels that I like. But yeah, it was good.
Dude, I saw
glad
the
I
trailer.
bought
It looked funny, but one of the Bella Ortiz character,
Right.
there's like a clip where they make fun of her, and she's like, "I'm from South America."
Yeah,
she's like a
Venezuela.
redhead.
She's
from
very,
like,
she's pale. She's got
red hair.
but she's she is Hispanic. I actually think in real life she's not Venezuelan. I forget.
She's from Chile.
Chile, yeah, she's
Chilean.
Chilean.
It's Chile.
Yeah.
It's
That's her.
pronounced
But one of the
Chile.
kids, I watched the trailer and the kid
Chile.
makes the joke, and she's like, "I'm from Venezuela."
Right.
I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I want to see this movie."
Yeah, it was good. I think you'd like it, and I know Mark would like it.
All right.
Brian, I don't know about you.
And it takes place in like
Why not?
I'm not
it's
sure.
like an
I
old
don't know.
folks home.
What
It's
about
supposed
it?
to help
Don't you
the
think I'd
elderly.
like?
No, I don't know. You probably would.
I'd probably like it.
Yeah,
I probably
it's on there,
won't.
so you guys
Place
can
your
check it out
bets.
whenever.
We love Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
We do.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, long time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
First time, long time.
First time, long time.
New generation scream queen.
That's
She
right.
is.
Oh yeah.
She is. She's,
Yeah. She can play the killer or the fucking
Right.
heroine.
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. Yep. Makes a good victim too. So for me, I've been watching Welcome to Wrexham on Hulu. Welcome to Wrexham is the docuseries
yeah.
with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhaney, and they buy a Welsh soccer team.
Yeah.
Is this the second season?
Second season is out, I believe. I'm still working my way through the first. I think I'm almost done with the first season. I just started it last week.
Cinderella story.
What?
It's a Cinderella.
It's a
story.
Cinderella
Yeah,
story.
Cinderella
Okay.
story.
Thanks, Mike Tyson.
She'll see you later, dear. Her eyes are frozen.
Is it fun? I don't know anybody who's seen it.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
It's if you like Ted Lasso, you'll love this.
I definitely.
It's got it follows a lot with the trials of the team because they're like in last place. You were the one that was explaining the soccer pyramid, right? Where they can bounce between
relegation?
leagues, they can get promoted and demoted.
That's my favorite thing about soccer.
Well, so these.
If you suck, you go into the shitty league.
Well, that's where they are. They're in the shitty league, and they've been there for like 13 years or something. They've never been able to dig their way out. So it's like very much a Cinderella story. Rob and Ryan buy the team. They hire this coach, not American. It's not like that Ted Lasso, but was a really good coach. He turned a lot of other teams around in the past.
Oh, nice.
And then they get like this ringer guy, who's kind of like,
they get a good player.
They get a good player,
okay.
and
Like Zava?
it takes a while, like Zava.
Zava?
Exactly. And it takes a while, but things start to gain momentum. But as things gain momentum, like their number one goalie like injures his hand. So they have to put in their second string goalie, so they lose a few games, and everybody starts calling for his head, like, oh, this guy sucks. But they're like number 2 in the league now, and they're like, if we can just win this one last game, we might have a shot at getting promoted to the next league. Yeah. And that's where I'm at now, and I'm like, I got to find out what happens. Right. It's so.
Oh, that's.
I am not into soccer at all.
And
not
village,
at all.
Like the village of Wrexham is like really.
Oh, it's
diehard fans.
It is, and it's a real down on its luck. Not so like it's not like a dying town.
Right.
It's a very industrial town. Real hard scrabble people, but they show a lot of like the townsfolk, and they really get into their lives and how this football club has affected them. Like through the generations even, my great grandfather was supporting these guys back in the early 1900s and blah, blah, blah. And it's just great. It's such a feel good thing. And Rob and Ryan together, they're just hilarious. Right. They're hilarious.
I feel like if it was anybody but them,
yeah,
it would come off as super pretentious. That like
it would, but Ryan's got that thing where he can make anything work, and even Rob is like, look at him, he's getting hugs from everybody. Right. He went over there by himself. Well, he said, didn't even invite me.
And they have,
and this guy's over there, he doesn't even have a shirt on, and Ryan's hugged him like 3 times. He said, what the fuck,
Well, they really have a passion for it.
He's getting all upset, and he says, oh, why don't we just cut to a goddamn commercial? Oh, who am I kidding? It's probably going to be for one of his fucking companies. It's like. And sure enough, they cut to him as like on the Mint Mobile thing, and like
awesome.
Rob's in like a little screen on the screen in the bottom corner. He's like, "No, I'm in his fucking commercial." It's awesome. Good. They do all that kind of. Not so much with them two. It's 90% like the team, and then they show up every so often. Like, there was problems with the grounds, and they had to invest all this money into relaying the sod because they fucked it up the first time, and the sod was ripping up after their first game, and they're like, we just spent like $100,000. Now we're going to spend $50,000 more to replace it all, blah blah blah. And yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I'm not going to go on too much about it.
What is that on?
It's on Hulu, but it's like
was it
but
FX
it's FX. It's
series?
FX on
it's an
Hulu.
FX show.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah,
I definitely want to see it.
yeah, it's awesome. Tito, you would definitely like it. I think you guys would like it too. Yeah.
I've heard good things.
Yes.
For sure. You're the only, I've only known one other person.
Yeah, I started watching it on a lark. I was watching something else on Hulu, and it ended, and then I saw, Welcome to Wrexham. I like Reynolds, and I like McElhaney, and I'll give it a shot. And I was hooked from the first episode. And they're only like a half hour long too. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, easily digestible.
I like that.
Yep.
Easily digestible.
Yep.
I ain't got shit going on right now, but so fantasy football and regular football.
Yeah,
and Survivor.
It's been a rough
League,
couple of weeks.
Some Survivor pools and some pick'ems, and I'm kind of all in. I shot a 90 last weekend. Shot a 90. I went with Mike Freeman. We went golfing. We went to Hazleton. I shot a 90, and I was only one stroke away from an 89. I can't stop thinking about how I was only one stroke away from an 89. Like a 92 would have been like, all right, I shot a 92, but a 90 is like one more stroke. That's like a missed putt. I was so fucking close, man. I can see it in your eyes. It's not registering what this means.
I'm just like, this
Mark,
golf,
yeah, he's
golf,
like, yeah, sure. But
Mark's
for-
over there like, I like the Tin Man.
You guys were stroking on the green. What?
I was done, and I said,
You shot
Mike,
90
I
what?
was back on Hazelton.
You made it to 90?
Yeah, what's
Hazelton. What?
That made my fucking geek flag fly for sure. My golf flag, whatever. I was one away. I was like, Mike, I just shot a 90. He was like, what? I was playing so well.
Wow.
You would have been so proud of me, Mark. Your little boy's finally growing up.
Little Tito.
Listen, you know what? Come back to us when you broke. When you broke past 90 and into it.
Dude, I will.
All right.
Yeah, when you get into
then
the
we'll be
windmill
proud.
on the first try in
So
mini
close.
golf, then
So
then
close.
call me.
Then we'll buy you.
Yeah.
this.
We'll have a cake for you because we all love cake.
Funfetti, please. That's my favorite kind of cake. Funfetti. But yeah, it's been a lot of that, and I've been watching. You know what movie I really like, and I think this might have been my geek flag last time. I saw Ninja Turtles. I've been watching that constantly.
Yeah, it's
I watch it a
on
lot.
Paramount.
Yeah.
I watch it a lot. It's fun as hell, and it cracks me up. Leonardo or Leon Ardo. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Leonardo.
I'm watching it this
Have you seen
weekend.
it?
Is this the new movie? No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's on Paramount.
Oh, it's so funny. Leonardo. Oh my god. It's so much fun.
Sound like Nandor De Laurentiis?
Kind of like because they don't have last names. They're like, what are our last names gonna be? So Michelangelo's like, I'm just gonna break it up. I'll be Michelangelo. Hey, I'm Michelangelo. And then they look at Leonardo and they're like, Leonardo, and then they just keep calling him Nardo over and over again. And then he says, well, I thought maybe it would be like Leon Ardo trying to like get out of. Oh my god, it's such a funny movie. So much fun. I've been watching football. I've been watching that. I've been golfing.
Ninja Turtles and golfing.
Ninja Turtles and golfing.
That's awesome. Well, the Ninja Turtle part is. Anyway.
He's shit.
Did Casey Jones have a golf?
No. He had a
hockey stick.
Yeah, probably had a club in there somewhere.
Golf club in there?
Cricket.
What's his face?
Takes out a cricket bat.
He does.
Shredder's second in command gets taken out with a golf
he hits him with
club.
a yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, at the warehouse.
I'll never
He
call
finds
golf a
club.
dull game again. He even
Thank
says
you.
it.
Top of it.
See that?
It's good enough for Casey Jones.
It should be good enough
That's
for
right.
you.
There's alligators on golf courses too. So.
He's not even a real person. I thought you were going to say if it's good enough for Tito because he's a real person that I care about, and it's good enough for me. But not the case.
You're no Casey Jones, Tito. I like you, buddy, but come on.
What about you, Mark?
What do I have? I have nothing. Nothing at all.
No.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. So I've been,
Oh, man.
No, I've got. I managed to finish What We Do in the Shadows. That was great. I started back up on season 3 of Harley Quinn. I'm enjoying that, but it has been a rough month. So I don't really have a lot to contribute.
Did you want to rant about a
No, I
recent
don't want to
con?
rant about anything. I
Okay.
will not rant about it, but I will give a shout out to Adam Green, Joe Lynch, Joe Bob Briggs, and Darcy the Mail Girl. Brian and I met him at the Silver Scream convention. They were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Super
They really
cool
were.
people.
Is her skin really shiny in person?
No, she's like
She must have
different.
lubed up.
Yeah, she lubes up on the show or something.
Yeah.
'cause
She's just like a regular old
Yeah,
lady.
she sounded regular.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
Yeah, because we were
Darcy,
talking about that,
but
how she
she's
talked different
totally
in
different.
real life.
No, she was really cool though because I had gone there to meet Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins ended up canceling, and
We didn't
know. That's a conversation for another time. And I had made a copy of that print for Darcy because she's a huge Halloween 3 Tom Atkins fan, and she was the one who told me that he had canceled. So Joe Bob came over and said, write a letter on the back of this print. Write a little note, put your address down. We'll get it to
Tom.
We'll get it to Tom. And I thought that was super cool of him. I've never had that kind of
agreed.
interaction. The convention itself was, but that 20 minutes of meeting those 4 people, they were all super awesome. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Horror conventions, the people there are the best.
They really are.
That's it.
They really are. Awesome. I mean, I like Joe Bob and Darcy, to begin with. But then after seeing what they did for you after you found out about Tom Atkins, I was like, oh my God. That just elevated them to a whole other level.
Yeah, they could have been like, all right, good for you, fat man, go away.
So super cool.
But they were just like, dude, I'm so sorry. I wish you had known. And Joe Bob was like, all right, this is what you're going to do, you know, and they helped. That was great. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's cool.
It really was
Adam
cool.
Green and
Dude,
Joe
is he like
Lynch.
6'5"?
Oh, he's tall.
I was gonna
The
say.
pictures I saw.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't realize how tall he was in
Yeah.
real life.
And he was funny too. He kept commenting on Brian and how he spelled his name.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
they were,
Nice.
I mean, everybody there was just talking to you. They were treating you like equals, whether it was somebody who was, you know, like Joe Lynch actually apologized that I was waiting in line for so long because he was talking to the guy in front of me. I've never had that in a fucking Comic-Con ever. He came out, he was like, dude, I'm so sorry that took so long. I'm like, no, talk to your fans.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And-
I hope you talk to me as well.
yeah, and he did.
He did.
He introduced himself to he was super friendly. They took pictures. They didn't charge you an arm and a leg like for really anything. And I love horror people. I love horror celebrities. I think they're the best. You know? I've met some assholes. I'm not going to name any names, but it rhymes with, you know, Poo Narigno. So, you know, but I never at a horror convention. Never have I ever met a celebrity there that has ever like. I've walked away and been like, oh man, that's gonna kill
Never
how I
meet
see
your
that
heroes
guy.
kind of situation.
Yeah.
Except Tom Atkins, he stood me up. But
That's right.
dude's in his 80s, he's entitled, I guess.
Yeah.
I was really bummed.
Yeah.
I bet he was out banging some chick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's mom.
Yeah,
For sure.
banging somebody's mom and making him watch Halloween 3.
That's right. He was in a hotel nearby. He was there.
Right.
He had intended to go, but
And I
The
got
horrors got in the way.
and I also got a picture with Skeet Ulrich after closing.
That's
time.
right.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
So
Yeah.
this guy comes up the street. We were waiting so Jared could get
Had a
his
cup of coffee,
signature
you threw
from.
some change in it,
No,
and
no.
you realized it was Skeet Ulrich.
So we're waiting in line for Spencer from Ice Nine Kills to do his signing. Don't even start.
Yeah.
Don't even start. Anyway, where am I going with this now? 'Cause I
With
started
Skeet
thinking of
Ulrich.
it.
Yeah.
So this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, I left my phone in my car. I want to get this picture with Skeet Ulrich. He's coming back. Can I use your phone and take a picture, or can you take a picture of me and Skeet?" I'm like, "Sure, whatever." So Skeet comes over. "Hey, how are you?" I'm taking the pictures with the phone, and I'm like, "Wait a minute. Why can't I get a picture?" So I'm
Yeah.
like, "Hey, as long as I'm doing this, can I get a picture with you?" And Skeet Ulrich kind of looks around because there's like crowds looking at him. He's like, "Yeah, all right, but do it quick because I don't want to get a whole gang going."
You're gonna get mobbed.
And I was like, "You know what? You're right, dude. You don't have to do it. It's fine." Then he just grabs me by the shoulder. He's like, "Get over here. Come on."
Yeah,
you know.
I don't want a crowd to erupt around.
I was like,
you.
yeah.
You said get over your fucking.
Yeah,
Get
Skeet
over yourself,
Ulrich.
Skeet Ulrich.
You were, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Who do you think you are, Johnny Depp?
That's exactly who he thinks he is.
Is that
Exactly what he was.
Is that when you threw the
That's
change
why
in
he
his
got-
cup? Here's for the photo.
So
Skeet.
that's
for
when
the
I took
photo.
the change from.
Hey, Skeet,
his
can you
cup.
walk around saying I've got a job
So I
to...
could get something to drink. Because I waited in line.
Ocean State Johnny
I waited
Depp.
in line for 6 fucking hours so Jared could get his Ice Nine Kills stuff signed.
fuck
And he was
me.
sitting next to Skeet Ulrich. The Ice
We
Nine
were
kills
not-
people.
No, the Ice Nine Kills people kept coming in, then they kept leaving, and then they kept coming. I can't say too much though.
Was Skeet
because-
Ulrich in line for Ice Nine Kills?
No. He was...
Everybody was. Everybody.
They had a bunch
already
of... They had
gone.
Tony Todd, they
Yeah.
had Skeet Ulrich, and they
it
had
was like
the...
the end of the
I'll
day.
tell you the
Yeah.
full story
it was the end
after.
of the
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Did you meet
Okay.
Tony Todd?
I saw Tony Todd.
Yeah, we
walk
saw
by.
Tony Todd
I met
from a
Tony
distance.
Todd before, so
Yeah.
it was cool. Yeah.
This is the second
I
time
don't
I've
need
seen
to
Tony
meet him
Todd from a
again.
distance
He
at a
scared me
convention.
the first time because it was at Rock and Shock, and he was already pissed at something. It had nothing to do with it. I think somebody.
Probably the bees.
Yeah. I can't talk. I'm full of bees. So it was just like, "Hey, how are you?" Yeah.
Is he taller than
He's taller
Joe
than
Bob?
Joe Bob. He's taller than
He's
everybody.
taller than Joe Bob.
I think so.
Yeah.
I want to say yes.
Yeah.
He used to play basketball.
Did he? For what team? What team did he play basketball for?
just
Doug?
making
Please
shit
tell
up.
me. In college.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
The Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah. Meadowlark Lemon. That was that's his birth name. He
Brian
changed
thought
Good
this was going to be
change.
smooth editing, but
Uh-huh.
sorry.
That's right. This whole thing is
Tony
gone.
Todd.
There it is.
Good change.
All right. So that's it. A couple of shout outs, and other than that, I haven't been able to see too much. I've been either jarring or dealing with a lot of family shit. So that's where I'm at. I'm crazy. Good night. Is that it?
What? What happened? Woof.
Well, we're going to wrap it up.
I'm just going to throw it to...
Oh, yeah, thank you. And that'll wrap it up for our first Hammer flick in our heading toward Halloween Hammer series and another episode of These Geeky Dads. These
Geeky Dads.
Holy shit. If you'd like to go
maybe
back,
that's what we could change the name.
These
Geeky Dads. So we don't,
Yeah, you only have to change a couple of letters.
Yeah, it was a number, but it's not. You know, the numbers.
The number of these.
The number of
these. Oh, my God. In spirit.
Hey, if you want to go back and check out any of the shit and just listen to me screw up or whatever, hear us rave and rant and relish and regurgitate all things geek, Brian, where the hell can they go?
They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.
The number of these.
Thank you, gentlemen. You never let me down.
See, it worked.
gdpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of these and others, along with one-click buttons where you can easily subscribe to us. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Smash one of those buttons, and you will never miss an upcoming episode, as you will easily be subscribed to the podcast platform of your choice. If you would, please give us a 5-star review and a rating. It doesn't feed our egos much at all, but it does help us put a little further forward from the pack, and it really makes it easier for other people to find us while they're searching. And our social media presences are also at our website. We can be found at Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, and our...
Every time I hear it, not you, just the idea.
Yeah, I know, but I have to say it. I have to say it because that's what it's called now.
Don't kill the messenger,
right.
Tito.
No,
Seriously.
it's not Brian. It's
I just saw you. I saw you making faces out of the corner of my eye. What's the last one? Our audio can be found weekly on YouTube as well. Our not our Patreon, but our
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Yes, we're on OnlyFans now. If you would like to see Mark Macrina in the nude, if you want to see him playing with his little Tito, check out Mark Scrapey McGapey Macrina at OnlyFans.
Oh boy.
Kofi.
There's also a link for Sticky Fingers.
Derek Sticky Fingers.
Stage name. It's a stage name. Sticky Fingers.
Derek Sticky Fingers Reynard can also
You're
be
gonna
found
be
there.
surprised. It's not what you think it is.
No, it is. Or it will be.
Sticky McGapey?
Coffee.
I could go for a coffee right now. Yes, we have a Ko-fi page. Derek, do you remember the Ko-fi page?
Yep.
The Ko-fi page is kind of like Patreon, where if you really like us and you would like to help support the show, it would be greatly appreciated. Any amount you give will help keep the show going because, as we always say, podcasting is not cheap. So with that, I'm just going to say thank you for listening, and I'm going to hit it back over to Mark.
Yeah, for the love of God, help us out, huh? It's been coming up on 6 years of this shit soon. Give us some coffee, man. You think this is easy? It isn't. No, seriously. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, gentlemen. And I learned to use that term loosely tonight. Thank you out there all for listening, especially to this episode. Damn. For 3 Geeky Dads, I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
Saying good night and keep watching the skies because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. And you might see one of Tito's balls flying through the air because apparently he's hitting them really high in golf now.
Those balls.
Yeah, golf balls.
Straight like a fucking arrow.
Watch for Tito's balls. Straight balls.
They're coming straight at the...
And Hazelton?
Hazelton.
Haddonfield.
They don't give us money. We don't need to fucking promote them. Fuck them. I give them money so I can play there. They're not doing shit for us.
I thought Hazelton was a rehab place, but I was confusing it with something.
A little bit.
I guess if you're going to survive rehab, golf is the way to do it, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
It's my therapy.
That's what I
There you
thought.
go.
That's why I was deep in thought while you were yammering on about that shit. I'm like, this is a new side to Tito.
Yeah, that was the same look my wife gives me when I come home and I'm like, I shot a 90 today. And she's like, oh.
Is that good?
Okay. And I tell her all about it, and she walks away. Only you couldn't walk away because we're recording.
I didn't want to walk away.
He's tethered by those headphones.
I was waiting to see how long you would notice. Like, does he know that this head is full of air right now? Oh, he does. Good. Oh, we're still going. Good night. Welcome to Rhode Island.
Hey, which game is Dr. Jekyll really, really good at?
I don't know. Which one?
Hide and seek. Yeah. Why was Dr. Jekyll banned from South Africa?
Why?
Because he was apartheid.
Oh, boy. I like that one a lot.
You want to do that one?
Topical.
Yes, I do. Oh, man. What a doozy.
Oh, that's an elevated joke.
Like sand.
You got the music queued up?
Oh, yeah, we have the Hammer, title,
theme.
too. The Hammer theme, too. Remember, we have the Hammer intro. Thank you, Derek.
You're welcome.
Totally.
Hold on.
This is your
Escape pod.
Oh, I like that.
Halloween.
Transylvania.
There it is.
Black.
Cool. All right.
So when do you want me to...
You'll know, because I'm going to say it's Hammer time. Then you can hit.
Oh, yeah.
Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit. That's why we pray.
We pray. Yeah, that's the one I want. I said we pray.
I want the Addams Family rap.
Oh.
Pray. We need
Speaking
to
of
pray.
thinking about the Addams, you know the Hammer is with it.
You almost went to Cosby again.
Yeah, you almost went full Cosby. Yeah.
Every time.
When I say Hammer, you went good. And then they had to Mr. Fester, and he stuck the light bulb in his mouth, and it went bleep, beep, boop, boop, boop.
What about a song on the Turtle Rhapsody? This is what we do it. My body is my body, and I take you where I want to. Pumping a party. That's right. The whole show is just this now. I'm kidding. Okay.
It's Bill Cosby's Hammer time.
The time I hit Theo with the ball peen hammer.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What the hell are we talking about? Here we go. They say the female of the species is more deadly than the male. Keep watching the skies or OnlyFans. 'Cause we're on there now.
Oh, boy.
Ew. Okay.
Come drink with us, Brian. Forever and ever and ever.